Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. And for those 2,300 subscribers, thanks for coming back and watching another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 6 things that I don't do anymore in retirement. And I don't do them in retirement because I want to live a joyous retirement, a joyous life. And so I want you to stay all the way through to the end so that if you are retired, these 6 things, they might be the same ones that you would have chosen, and or there might be one that you could think about. And if you're not retired, you have something to look forward to. So let's get into it. Things I don't do anymore in retirement. So the first one is, I don't try to keep busy. In my work life, I was a busy life, whether it was when I was a first sergeant or sergeant major in the Army, or as a HR manager director working for various companies. You're always busy. There are always projects that you're involved in, and each project has a deadline, and that's always critical. Then there's those government mandated reports that you're always trying to get in on time. And then there's too many meetings. There's always a meeting that you have to attend. And there's the business trips, whether you're flying or driving, you got to get to. And you're always busy. And then you kind of throw in there the family, right? So the family, and I got 2 kids, they're growing up, they're in school, they play sports, there's practice, and then there's games. And so you have to help get them to practice or pick them up. And then when there's game day, you got to be at the game day to support them. So that throws not a monkey wrench, but that throws a different factor into you being busy. And then there's doctor's appointments, right? Everybody has a doctor's appointment, to include myself. So we're always trying to arrange and rearrange and trying to manage things so that work life can happen and then family life can happen. And then you retire. And what happens at retirement? It all goes away, even the kids. Do you hear that? That's the sound of silence. It's quiet in this house. Some people, when they retire, they can't handle that. They can't handle the silence, and or they can't handle not being busy all the time. They need to be busy in their retirement life. Why? I don't know. But they always have something planned, somewhere to go to, or something to do, and they want you to come along. And it's not because they need to get it done, but rather they have something inherent inside them. There's a need for them to be busy. Me? Nope, not me. I can spend the whole day doing nothing, and I would be just as happy as a retiree finding out that they won an all-expense paid cruise around the world, right? That'll make a retiree happy. But I could just sit on my chair, watch TV, take a nap, have fun with the wife. Doesn't matter to me. I don't need to be busy. So that's number 1. So let's talk about number 2, right? Number 2 is I don't care what people think of me. So in my work life, I always cared what my boss thought of me. Why? Well, because there's the annual performance reviews. That's where you sit down with your boss and they'll discuss your performance over the last year, whether you met goals, exceeded goals, or maybe even failed to achieve a certain goal. And so it was very critical that the boss kind of liked me. And then there's the employees. Well, I want employees to like me as well. And so I would do things like, I would go out and visit with them. I would participate with them. I would do things with them just so that they could see that I had a genuine concern for them and the environment which they worked in. So I always had a care for what my boss and the employees thought of me. I would dress well all the time because I want to give that certain impression. I was well groomed. I worked out just to stay in shape. Very polite. I was just a well-grounded kind of person. I never cussed because a lot of people just don't like that. But in retirement, you can call me anything you want. You could call me fat. You could call me lazy, slow, old. You could call me a boomer. My daughter told me that the other day. Yeah, it didn't faze me. Why? Because I'm a boomer. Okay, that's your opinion of me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't faze me. I'm retired. Call me anything you want. So, number two, I don't care what people think of me in retirement. You're really going to like the next one. So the third thing that I don't put up with anymore in retirement is I don't put up with knuckleheads. Now I use the word knucklehead, but for some people, they could probably find a better word to describe the people that I'm talking about. In the work life, there's a lot of them. I'll just leave it as knucklehead. So it could be a knucklehead boss, right at the senior level, to knucklehead senior managers, to knucklehead supervisors, all the way down to knucklehead employees are all over the place. And you have to deal with them, especially as HR. You're always dealing with them because there's always an employee, a supervisor problem. And for supervisors and managers, yeah, so they're knuckleheads to where they always think they know better until you're walking them out the door because they thought they knew better and you try to tell them and they didn't understand or they were too knuckleheaded to want to change. And so now you walk them out the door and they're gone. But there's knuckleheads all over the place, not just in the workplace. But in retirement, yeah, I don't put up with that. In my work life, I had to put up with it, right? I had to listen. I had to investigate. I had to do all that stuff just to get through things. But in retirement, I don't have to worry about that stuff no more. I don't care about knuckleheads. And so some of the knuckleheads that I see in retirement that I don't put up with is on the road. You got tailgaters because I'm retired. I don't have to go anywhere and get anywhere too soon. So I drive the speed limit. Now, most people, guess what? They don't want to drive the speed limit. They want to go, go, go. So if I'm not going fast enough, somebody's coming right behind me, all right, tailgating me. So I'll just tap on the brake a little, give them a little warning that, you know what? Go around me if you're in that much of a hurry, right? And then there are the people that are weaving in and out of traffic. Oh, God, I hate those people, especially if they're a motorcycle. I'm just waiting for them to hit another car, and we're all backed up for a long time. And then there are those people that are on their phones. You drive by because you see them weaving in their lane. You get beside them, and you can tell, oh, they're texting or they're reading something on the phone. What I'll do, I'll honk on my horn, beep, beep, and I'll wave to them, hey, hey, get off that phone, right? And usually they'll get embarrassed because they just got caught by the old man. Or if you're in a store, you go to a store and them knuckleheads, they'll want to cut in line. I'll stop them, right? I'll say, hey, get to the back of the line. I ain't afraid. I was in Kroger's several nights ago, and a guy was on his phone playing some game or texting or doing something, and the line had moved up, and nobody had said nothing. Everybody just stood in line behind him, waiting for him to stop playing or doing whatever. And I just, in a loud voice, I said, hey, look up, look up. And he looked up and he seen that the line had moved way up there and he started to move, but he kept looking back at me like he was going to do something. And I kept telling myself, go ahead, come on back here and try to do something. You just don't know. This finger, 100 different ways that I can kill you. All right. Don't want to mess with me. And then there's those people, if you're at a restaurant, those customers that get really loud when they think they're getting bad service, and they'll treat somebody in that restaurant really badly, and before I would just say, you know what, I'll let it go. Nowadays that I'm retired, no, I'll stand up, I'll go over there and I'll have a conversation, right? I'll say something because people, no matter what, should not be treated miserably or meanly. You don't like your steak? Okay, guess what? Get up and leave. Don't pay for it. But when you start mistreating or abusing, some 17-year-old guy or girl that's in there just trying to make a couple of dollars, that's wrong. And I'll get up and I'll say something. And before, I've said, hey, you know what? This is my daughter. If you're going to treat her like that, me and you are going to have a problem. Usually they'll they'll apologize, they'll say they're sorry, and they'll stop. Or even people that are on the phones at a restaurant, real loud phone, making conversations. And no, I'm trying to have a peaceful dinner with my spouse, and here you are on the phone, yapping, yapping. I'll say something, right? I don't care. I don't care. Uh, and that's just the way it works when you're retired. I just don't put up with knuckleheads anymore. I'm going to say something every time. And so you're really going to like the next one. So stay with me. So the fourth thing that I don't do anymore, I don't set long-term goals. I don't make long-term goals. There's probably only one goal that I do, and it's not very complex. And we're going to talk about that. But in my work life, when I think back, so we always had goals, right? Everything we did had a goal. So there was a short-term goal, there was a long-term goal, there were stretch goals, there were smart goals, dumb goals. The dumb goals, they usually came from my boss. There were simple goals, there were complex goals, there were career goals, there were finance goals. You know, those finance goals, those are what are based on your bonus, if you got a bonus. Then there's the personal development goals. So there were so many goals that we created in my work life. But in retirement, I don't create a goal. So because it gives me the freedom to live in the moment, right? You want to live in the moment without goals. So it can fully embrace being spontaneous, and you let each day just kind of unfold naturally, and you find joy in the unexpected. The average life of an Army veteran is 67 years. And I'm 65. Guess what? Why make a goal? My life is getting shorter and shorter. If I make a goal, there's only one goal, as I explained at the beginning. And that one goal is my New Year's resolution goal that I make every year. And that goal just simply says, my goal is to live another year. So the fifth thing that I don't do anymore since I retired is I don't do the material things. I don't care about material things anymore. In my work life, I've always had, the latest gadget, whether it was the smartphone or it was maybe the tablet, the laptop, clothes, shoes, and it was all to show somebody that I was somebody. Why would you get all that stuff? You really don't need it. You could go through life with just pen and paper or even pencil and paper. And in retirement, I don't care about those things. Everything that I used to have, it's gone, broken, or it's outdated. Now I have hand-me-downs, right? I get the hand-me-down phone from my son or daughter. When they want to buy them a new phone, they'll give me their old phone. And that's okay. It still works. I get the used computer. It's funny because my wife would always say that everything she has is a hand-me-down from somebody else. Now my wardrobe, I basically wear t-shirts and shorts, flip-flops, tennis shoes when I go out, and I bought all that from a Walmart while it was on sale. So material things, although once in my work life I needed them because it gave me something, nowadays I don't have to have it and I don't want it. Saving money by not getting them. And the sixth thing that I don't do no more in retirement is, and you know what, if this is you, I want you to put in the comments and let me know that this was you and how you changed it. But the sixth thing is, I don't try to control everything anymore. I was a control freak at one time. But why do people try to control everything in the work life? Well, people often try to control things due to a fear of uncertainty or a desire for a predictable life. It kind of gives them a sense of safety and security when everything is orderly and as it's expected. Yeah, that was me. I try to control most things in my life. And that's probably why I had so much friction as a leader. In retirement, I control nothing. That's a tranquil way to live, just letting things flow as they may. It kind of allows me to master the art of detachment. Control nothing, and you will find peace in everything. Let life surprise you. Now that one I really like. This is Chandler's retirement life, and it's a good life because I'm retired. Subscribe.